Ooh, what's good? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to the 1776 Report. One thing has become extremely clear over the last several weeks, and that is the mainstream media. They're all working together. It doesn't matter if it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC News, CBS News. They're all working together on behalf of the Uniparty. This has become evident and crystal clear. They are working with the deep state, and it's all one big mainstream media uniparty. And their one goal is to control us, to spread fake, false information, misinformation, and control the general public. Sure, there may be stations that lean more left, there may be stations that lean more right, but they all have one goal, and that's to control the American people.
A secret mind controller.
And if you stray away from their objective, their agenda, you'll be fired.
Fired?
We saw that with Tucker Carlson this week. It's becoming more and more evident every single day. Today, big tech is giving the New York Times $100 million. And this is just from Google. I'm sure the New York Times is working on deals with other big tech corporations. But the New York Times reached a deal with Google today for $100 million over the next 3 years from Google, and a deal to feature the newspaper's content on all of its platforms. Why the hell would Google do this?
Why would they do that?
Because they know the New York Times will play by the rules. They know the New York Times is propagating content, coming out with content that is aligned with big tech. You open up your Google phone, your Android phone, New York Times content right on the home screen. You don't have to go far. And Google has reached deals with other news corporations. The deal follows other bonanza payments from Google to media companies, including Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, whose lobbyists push heavily for this deal while Democrats controlled Congress. I thought Fox News was supposed to be a conservative outlet.
Funny. That is funny.
I thought Fox News was supposed to be fighting for Republicans and the conservative, traditional American values. Not a chance. They are all the same. And for those people saying that Tucker Carlson was fired because of the Dominion lawsuit, the Dominion settlement, or because advertisers weren't advertising on Tucker Carlson's show, that is a complete joke.
Wrong.
Tucker Carlson was fired because he cannot be controlled. Tucker Carlson was fired because Fox News is more concerned about big tech, pleasing big tech, bending the knee to big tech, and getting that big tech money. Since Tucker was fired, the ratings have been atrocious. Fox News suffers ratings bloodbath after Tucker Carlson ouster, but they don't give a damn. They do not care.
I don't give a damn.
They don't care. As long as they're getting 1.5 million viewers at that 8 p.m. time slot, Fox News doesn't care. Fox News is contending with a steep ratings decline after the firing of anchor Tucker Carlson. In the first week after Carlson's ouster on April 24th, the channel's primetime viewership fell 29.6% to 1.4 million viewers, coming in third among cable networks, according to figures from Nielsen. All right, so they've lost a lot of viewers, but they don't care. Sure, some advertisers are coming back, but it's all evening out. If Tucker had 3 million viewers, he may not have had the big time advertisers, but he had more viewers. So the advertisers who were putting their ads on Tucker's time slot were having to pay more because there was more eyeballs on the ad. So now the viewership has gone down, but the big players are there, so it's probably all evening out. So it really doesn't matter. It's not about the ads. It's not about the viewers. It's about controlling the narrative and pushing the woke agenda. When you turn on Fox News, you think you're going to be getting a more right-leaning narrative. Bullshit. It's all part of the uniparty establishment's agenda.
It's part of the business plan.
The Mitch McConnell agenda, the Lindsey Graham agenda. It's all the same stuff. You turn on MSNBC, it's the Chuck Schumer agenda. It's not the RFK agenda. You turn on Fox News, it's not the Trump agenda. The deep state is controlling these news networks, and Tucker Carlson said as such last night, blowing up Fox News, absolutely nuking Fox News last night on his latest Twitter post.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. You often hear people say the news is full of lies, but most of the time that's not exactly right. Much of what you see on television or read the New York Times is in fact true in the literal sense. It could pass one of the media's own fact checks. Lawyers would be willing to sign off on it. In fact, they may have. But that doesn't make it true. It's not true. At the most basic level, the news you consume is a lie of the stealthiest and most insidious kind. Facts have been withheld on purpose, along with proportion and perspective. You are being manipulated. How does that work? Let's see. If I tell you that a man has been unjustly arrested for armed robbery, that is not, strictly speaking, a lie. He may have been framed. At this point, there's been no trial, so no one can really say. But if I don't mention the fact that the same man has been arrested for the same crime 6 times before, am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you. And that's what the news media are doing in every story that matters, every day of the week, every week of the year. What's it like to work in a system like that? After more than 30 years in the middle of it, we could tell you stories. The best you can hope for in the news business at this point is the freedom to tell the fullest truth that you can. But there are always limits. And you know that if you bump up against those limits often enough, you will be fired for it. That's not a guess. It's guaranteed. Every person who works in English language media understands that. The rule of what you can't say defines everything. It's filthy, really, and it's utterly corrupting. You can't have a free society if people aren't allowed to say what they think is true. Speech is the fundamental prerequisite for democracy. That's why it's enshrined in the first of our constitutional amendments. Amazingly, as of tonight, there aren't many platforms left that allow free speech. The last big one remaining in the world, the only one, is Twitter, where we are now. Twitter has long served as the place where our national conversation incubates and develops. Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing. And yet, for the most part, the news that you see analyzed on Twitter comes from media organizations that are themselves thinly disguised propaganda outlets. You see it on cable news, you talk about it on Twitter. The result may feel like a debate, but actually the gatekeepers are still in charge. We think that's a bad system. We know exactly how it works, and we're sick of it. Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter. We'll be bringing some other things too, which we'll tell you about. But for now, we're just grateful to be here. Free speech is the main right that you have.
You see, if you work for one of these corporations, Fox News, CNBC, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, they're all the same. You work under their umbrella. You work for them. They can control you. You see, big tech, the deep state, these big institutions that are controlling everything in this country want to control the narrative. They have to control the narrative.
I will control everything.
And if you have a rogue individual like Tucker, or even smaller content creators like myself, they can't control us, and that is not okay by them. Tucker covered stuff that other individuals wouldn't cover. They called it misinformation. His coverage of J6, his coverage of the JFK assassination, his Epstein coverage, ruffled feathers. They absolutely hated it, and they couldn't let it stand. So the deep state goes to Fox News. Rupert Murdoch says, we're going to stop paying you these massive $100 million payments unless he's gone. You see, it had nothing to do with Dominion. It had nothing to do with advertisers. It had everything to do with Tucker not being able to be controlled by the deep state, by Rupert Murdoch, by News Corp, or by any other news channel. So what had to happen? He had to get axed. He's gone. But now he's teaming up with Twitter, apparently, and it's going to be a massive show. It won't last for long on Twitter. The only reason he's going to Twitter is because news anchors have control of their own Twitter account. See, Tucker Carlson is still under contract with Fox News. But while he was working with Fox News, he had control of his Twitter account. It's the only account he had control of. You don't have a YouTube. You can't have a video platform account. But he found a workaround. So while he is disputing this contract in court with Fox, he will be allowed to post a show on Twitter. It's absolutely genius, and you love to see somebody taking on the uniparty, taking on the mainstream media and big tech like Tucker is doing, and we need more people like that. So you have a small platform, a small channel, trying to grow it, putting a lot of effort into it, and we need more people to stand up to this uniparty, this woke agenda, and say, nope, not going to play this game. It's dangerous. They're controlling everything. They are controlling the narrative. And they will do everything they can in their power to stop the Donald Trumps of the world, the RFKs of the world, because that message cannot get out. And if it gets out, the empire will crumble. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.